Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the show for leaders who want real results, not more noise. Join Emanuel Rose as he helps business builders turn AI from a confusing add-on into a practical advantage with clearer messaging, stronger trust, and smarter systems. If you felt a shift happening in real time, you're not imagining it. In the agentic pivot, Emanuel calls it the move from experimenting with AI to building with it, so it supports your team, your brand, and your growth. Let's get into it.
Three of the biggest AI labs on the planet ship new tools this week. OpenAI, SpaceX AI, Anthropic, all in the same few days. The headline called it an arms race, a bubble, $1 trillion spending spree gone wild. But here's the number nobody put in the headline. The price of top-tier AI dropped again. One new model came in more than 60% cheaper than the leader. So while everybody argues about a bubble, the thing you actually pay for got cheaper, and that changes what you can afford to do this Monday morning. Let's get into it. Human in the loop. All right. Well, there's lots of things that we have automated inside of my agency and some of the projects I've worked on. I think probably the most exciting thing that I've done the last 2 months has been built a fully functioning CRM with a an AI agent that goes and is prospecting constantly based on geography and based on ICP and target markets, and that not only does it do that, but then when we actually get to the part of the sales conversation, then I built it so that we can upload a video into the CRM of the sales meetings, and then from those sales meetings, we're able to then generate a proposal, and then from the proposal, once that is accepted and signed, then we can create a scope of work that then begins the work process. And that one tool that I have built has given us, me and the team, at least 10 hours a week back. So it's been pretty powerful and relatively inexpensive after the build was complete. All right. Well, welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI. I'm Emanuel Rose, and thanks for spending a little time with me this morning. Here is what we're going to get into today. First, the week in AI news, and 3 labs shipped at once. New models, cheaper prices, and agents that now live on your phone. Second, my hot take, and it is going to sound backwards. AI agents are overhyped, and that is the good news for you. Third, the new companies and the money, who came out of hiding and who raised and how much. And fourth, 3 tools worth knowing. One I want you to test, and a playbook you can run today or sometime this week and buy back some of your own time. None of this is about robots taking your job. It is about you getting hours back in your work week and pointing agents at the work only a human can do. Keep that in your head the whole way through. Getting your hours back and pointing those hours at the work that only you as the human can do. Grab your coffee and let's go. This week, let's start with the models because the whole week churned and turned on them. On July 9, OpenAI made GPT-5.6 available to everyone after a 13-day preview that was limited to trusted partners at the request of the U.S. government. It comes in 3 tiers. Sol is the flagship for hard reasoning and coding. Terra is for everyday work. And Luna is built for cheap, high-volume tasks. Here is why you care, because Luna costs $1 per million tokens in and $6 out. That is bargain basement pricing for a frontier grade model. The stuff that was way too expensive to run last quarter just got more affordable. On this same week, July 8th, SpaceX shipped Grok 4.5. Elon Musk called it an Opus class model. It is priced at $2 in and $6 out per million tokens. And SpaceX AI says that it is more than 60% cheaper than Claude, Opus 4.8, or GPT 5.5. Read that as a marketer. Yeah, we just cut cost of top tier intelligent. The cost of running your marketing on AI is falling, not rising, no matter what the bubble headlines scream. Third story, Anthropic brought Claude Cowork to your phone this week in both iOS and Android. Before this, an agent working on your documents and spreadsheets needed a desktop left running. Now it does not. Put those three together, OpenAI, SpaceX AI, and Anthropic, all put agent tools in front of everyday users in the same week. Agents are moving off the desktop and finally into your pocket. One more, and this one is pure marketing. On July 7, an ad management firm called Guideline launched the first independent look at how much money is really flowing into ads inside AI answers on ChatGPT and Perplexity. Their data covers about $200 billion in annual media investment across 65 countries. And here's the eye-opener buried in that launch. OpenAI started testing ads in ChatGPT back in February, and reports put it at more than $100 million in annualized revenue inside the first couple months. Projections call for it to be $2.5 billion this year, growing to $11 billion in 2027. So take the week as a whole. Intelligence got cheaper, agents got portable, and the AI answer box is quietly turning into ad inventory that you'll be asked to buy. Cheaper to build with, and a brand new vertical to show up in. Hot take of the week. Here is what I'm going to say that's going to sound backwards. AI agents are overhyped, and that is the best news you're going to hear all week. This week, the commentators piled on. They called it the agents of 2026, ambitious, overhyped, and still in training. Like junior staffers who work fast, sound confident, and are often wrong. They need constant review and cleanup. You know what? They are right. And most companies are going to hear that and pull back. That is the opening. Because the edge does not go to the company that buys the most agents. It goes to the one that redesigns a single workflow around them. Bolt an agent onto a broken process, and you get a faster, broken result. Rebuild the process first, put the agent in the loop, and you get your afternoon back. I've been doing marketing for over 30 years. Every wave, the same thing happens. Everyone argues about whether the new thing is real, while a small group quietly rewires how the work gets done. By the time the argument is settled, that small group owns the category. So here's my take. The winner is not the team with the most agents. It is the team with the fewest broken workflows. Stop counting agents, start counting hours returned and deals closed. That is the only scoreboard that pays. New AI companies. 2 companies came out of hiding this week, and they show you 2 different faces of where this is going. First, Monogram on July 7 came out of stealth with a $40 million seed round led by DST Global and Lux Capital. The co-founder is Aaron Bali, who you might know from Udemy and Carbon Health. Here is the interesting part. Their app treats the chat window as a problem to be solved. Instead of a wall of text, it builds a custom visual screen for each question in seconds, a trip planner, a comparison view, a recipe card. The answer is a screen, not a paragraph. Sit with that and what that means for you. The way people see AI answers is starting to move past the text box. Picture a buyer asking about your category and getting a generated screen instead of a sentence. Your job is to be the brand that the screen is built around. Second, and completely different, Arkenstone Defense. Same day, July 7. They launched out of stealth with a $35 million seed funding led by J2 Ventures. What they sell is a ready-made government contracting back office, compliance, accreditation, personnel, payroll, security, everything. A personal, everything a commercial company needs to sell to the Pentagon. More than 24 defense tech companies already run it. Why does a marketer care about a defense back office? Because of the model. They do not sell a tool, they sell the outcome, the whole painful thing handled for you. That is the pattern of the year, and any agency can borrow it. Sell the result, not the software. Let's follow money because it tells you what smart people believe. The biggest round this week went to Norm AI. On July 7, they raised 120 million Series C at a 1.2 billion valuation, led by Kozla Ventures with Blackstone and Bain Capital in the round two. What they do is agentic law. They build AI compliance agents that embed in actual regulations, and their flagship runs inside Microsoft 365 Copilot. Their clients represent more than $30 trillion in assets under management. Here's your angle. If you work in a regulated category, compliance is the thing that slows your content and your outreach to a crawl. Agents like this are how the legal review stops being the bottleneck. Next, Kaon AI. On July 8th, they raised $60 million in a Series C led by B Capital. They build AI native entertainment, personalized stories and characters through their apps FlowGPT and Emoji. And here is the number that stopped me. Emoji does 45 million in ARR with more than 2 million daily users spending an average of 150 days on the app. Wow. 150 minutes a day. This is not a chatbot. That is a content format that holds attention like Netflix. AI characters, not just AI copy, are becoming something people show up for. Third, Bespoke Labs. On July 6th, they raised 40 million, led by Wing VC with angels from Anthropic, OpenAI, and Meta. They build realistic training environments full of fake code bases, logs, tickets, and Slack messages so the agents can practice real work and get tested before you trust them. Notice what that money is betting on. Not agent hype, but agent reliability. The market is finally paying for agents that actually finish the job. That should tell you where to point your own attention. Here's some new AI tools worth knowing. 3 tools, quick hits, all released this week. First, Guideline, the ad data I mentioned earlier. It gives you the first independent read on ad spend inside AI Answers on Chat and Perplexity, benchmarked against regular digital channels. Before you spend $1 on advertising inside an AI answer, you finally see what the economics really look like. Second, Active Campaign. On July 8th, they launched a Google Ads connector for their Active Intelligence platform. It brings AI-guided campaign building and reporting into the same tool you already use for email and automation. If your email lives in one tab and your paid search lives in another, this pulls them together. And third, Invoca, also July 8th, they joined the Trade Desk Marketplace. It's a no-code integration that feeds your AI-scored phone calls and conversions straight into your programmatic ads. So you can measure real return, retarget the callers who did not close, and stop wasting spend on the ones who already did. If phone calls close your deals, home services, insurance, healthcare, this is a big deal. Notice the theme here. Measurement, attribution, knowing what actually worked. The hype cycle is ending, and the boring, powerful stuff is finally showing up. Let me give you something you can run today or later this week. It takes about 30 minutes, and it is built on this week's price drop. Here's a number behind it. HubSpot's State of Marketing 2026 report found that 67% of marketing teams now say that AI saves them 10 or more hours a week. The average marketer gets back about 6 hours. This playbook is how you can claim more of that. Call it rerunning your too expensive list. 5 steps. Make a list of every recurring task you decided not to automate because of the token cost. Pick the one that eats the most hours, the weekly competitor scan, the first draft rewrite of 40 product descriptions, the support inbox triage. Reprice that task against a cheap tier like Grok 4 or 5 or GPT 5.6, Luna, and at those new prices, the math may flip. Run it once by hand with the model in the loop and you checking the output. Fix the prompt until the result is good enough to trust. Schedule it, bank the hours, and point them at work only you, the human, can do. Why does this work? Because the answer changed this week. The task did not get easier, it got cheaper. So the honest question is not, can AI do this? It is, why is a human still doing this by hand? One warning, do not try to automate 10 things at once. Pick one, get it working, then the next. Small, done every Monday, beats big and never. All right, here's the one line I want you to carry out of here today. The winner is not the team with the most agents. It is the team with the fewest broken workflows. Picture it. 6 months from now, the busy work that eats your Fridays is just gone, handled quietly by a process you rebuilt once. And you were spending that time on the strategy, the relationships, the judgment calls that no model can make for you. That is not luck. That is the work you start with this week. And here's the honest cost of waiting. While you argue about whether agents are overhyped, the operator down the street is rebuilding one workflow at a time. Being early is the edge. If you want help turning this into an actual plan instead of a pile of tools, that is what StrategyNavigator.ai does. It's an AI-powered strategy planning platform for executives and consultants who need structure, not more noise. You can see it at StrategyNavigator.ai. And there's StrategicSOP.com, which helps you capture your standard operating procedures. StrategicSOP.com. And here's my ask. Send me your questions on LinkedIn this week. The best one becomes a listener's question and answer with your name on it. I hope you got some value today. If you did, please refer a colleague who was trying to figure out AI. Thanks for spending this morning with me. Now go do something with AI today. This is Emanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available